welcome to Life Cues Week 14. I hope you guys are having a wonderful spring out there. We're trying, but it keeps snowing and raining, and today it's icy snow. So yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, we broke the record for the most consecutive days under -0 Celsius, and it was 167 days. But we keep a stiff upper lip and try to keep on going with the flow. So today I'm going to just work as I talk. My prompt for today has to do with poem. And what is your most inspiring or favorite poem right now? And what made me think about that is, as many of you know, in Canada, it will be it was only a week ago? Wow. A week ago on Friday, that terrible Humboldt Broncos hockey team bus crash occurred. And the way people came about helping was just a remarkable thing, how everybody pulled together through such a horrible tragedy. And then this morning, you know, as soon as you hear these wonderful stories, and then this morning I heard the story on the news. I always have my Google News play, you know, the news of the day. So I'll get BBC, CNN, CBC, so I kind of get a good overall coverage of what's going on. And, I stuck that in my coffee. Yuck. Good thing it was a clean brush. That's hilarious. Anyway, there was a story about this young boy, and I don't even know what city it was in North America, somewhere in North America. And a man was charged with firing a shotgun at him because this poor young man, so he must have been school age, had missed his school bus. And he went up to this person's home to find out where he was. He was lost, and just to ask for help or maybe use the phone or something. And this man shot him, or shot at him. So this man who shot the gun was obviously charged. And then right after that, the story right after that, somewhere in the U.S., in a Starbucks, one of the Starbucks employees saw these two black men waiting in a Starbucks, just waiting there. And they had been there for more than 15 minutes, God forbid. And so they called the police and charged them with trespassing. And so they were handcuffed and taken out of the store. And the young men were simply waiting for their friend. It was like a meeting spot, so they were just waiting in Starbucks. Meet you at Starbucks. Okay. So they were waiting for their friend, and because that made some people uncomfortable, they ended up getting handcuffed and taken out of the Starbucks. And I was like, oh, you know, like, ugh, like it's like mankind, come frickin' on. You do so well, and then bam, you do something else. But then I thought of this poem called Hope. And I thought, we can't give up. We can't give up hope. We can't. That's all we have. Hope is it. If we give up hope that things aren't going to get better, and that basically deep down inside of every human being are the same wonderful human beings that helped out during the tragedy, we can't give up hope. We have to hope that that's the case. And I started thinking about it more, because I was just talking to my grandson about, he said he really wanted to go to New York City, but he was petrified. And I said, oh, sweetheart, you can't be afraid. He's only 11. He's going to be 12. And I said, you can't live in that kind of fear. You're too young. Life is too short, and you're here to enjoy all there is, and you have to have hope. And I said, there's only two ways you can be. You can be hope-filled or fear-filled. And I said, do you believe in God? He said, yes. And I said, do you believe that God will take care of you and look after you, and that God's will be done whenever it needs to be done? Yes. I said, well, then that's all you have to do, and you need to let God do the rest, and you just live your life. You live your life and don't give up hope. And just live with hope and faith, because fear is by the lack of faith. So you can only live in two ways, basically, with love or with fear. So he started thinking about it, and I said, and you know, Nana was thinking she'd like to take you, because you'll be going to middle school next year, and your first year of middle school, I wanted to take each one of them on a trip. And I said, and if New York seems too big or too far for you, how about Los Angeles? And he goes, oh, yes, that's pretty good, because he loves shopping and stuff like that. And I go, and we could go to Disneyland. He goes, no, I'm not into that. But he's never liked that kind of stuff. And I said, well, okay, well, we could go shopping, and there's a garment district to check out all the deals on the cool stuff. And he says, oh, Nana, that would be great. But can my mom come too? I said, of course she can. But, you know, trying to teach these young people, because I'm sure they're so scared. So much is going on for them. My heart breaks for these sweethearts. So my poem is, I don't know if it's called Hope by Emily Dickinson, but it's Hope is a Feather. I'll do the lyrics out, not the lyrics, the verse after. So that's the poem that really, really moves me in these times. And it's what we need right now. We need hope. And basically the whole, if you go and Google the whole, I won't put the whole poem down, but if you go and Google it and the meaning behind it, it's basically that she's comparing hope to a bird, and how no matter what, even in the darkest of times, it never asks for not even a crumb. It's always there, and it's like a feather, and we just need to hang on to that at all times, no matter how sad and scary and everything is. You just thank God we have faith. I'm using my watercolor crayons and my gelatos because they give such vibrant, beautiful colors. Isn't that pretty? And then it's very easy to transpose the background of your page. Yeah, I'll just use this one. So I'll watercolor that in, and then when I come back, I have this really pretty napkin that is covered in butterflies. I think I believe I got them at the Dollar Tree, these ones. So I'm going to cut some of those out and have them flying around. And I'm not necessarily going to get rid of all the blue in the background. I'll just use some gel medium and blend them in so they're around. So they look very hopeful and pretty. Okay, before I start on the butterfly gluing, I thought of this technique I had seen by, I think it's the Art Sherpa or some, I saw it last summer, but anyway, you take Q-tips or earbuds and you put an elastic around them and join them kind of, you know, like that. And then what I've done here is I mixed some gesso with a little tiny bit of kind of a pinky watercolor. And so then I'm just going to dip them in there off side here. Ew. And then I'll blot them a little bit. And then I'm going to dip them on the page just like a bunch of field flowers all over the background. See? Isn't that pretty? just looks like little, and you can make it more dense in some areas. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this background with some really pretty flowers. So this is how far I've gotten, and I took a bold Pick pen and just wrote around my heart. And then I'm going to take, this looks really happy. Hold on, one of these Stampin' Up! Wheels. So it's got all kinds of happiness on it. My stuff is so well used, but that's what it should be, right? I'm going to take some white craft ink because there's not enough going on this page for me. And I'm just going to ink up this wheel. Good, that's working great. And just wheel it around my sky. Can you see that? So we'll just kind of go, pull this book out a bit, kind of go up and in between the butterflies. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you guys. Actually, without knowing it, this has little dots on it just like the napkin, so it's all going to look like it all blended together. That is very cool. So you can't tell where the napkin started and the wheel ended. I like that. Not sure what I'm going to do with my flowers down here, but I think this might be, I have a beautiful feather, and it'll probably lay in here, and I'll probably do my journaling down in this area. So, yeah, so that's enough wheeling for that. Then I'm going to take this bird stamp, or punch, sorry, this guy. And out of newsprint, I'm going to stamp a birdie. And just taking this old, these books are so ancient. I think I might have to stamp two together because the pages are so flimsy. Like, look, there's two together, and look how easy it tears. But it's beautifully, naturally kind of yellowed and exactly the way you want it to be. There we go. And then I will separate them. But doing it two together gave it some stability. So here's my birdie. And I'm going to put the bird on the heart. If I can even separate the pages. But anyway, it's going to go up here. Sitting on its little flower, you know, whatever you call branch, a branch. And so I'm just going to glue them down like that. Like that. And I'm not coloring it in any way. Just going to leave it made out of, oh, and its wing. There, like that. So I'll go get that done. So I found this piece of, it looks like paper towel stuck on cardstock of a whole bunch of ink cleanup stuff. So I punched out 4 of them, and one of them I'm going to cut in half. Just adding some more interest to my page. So I'm going to glue that one there, like so. And I'm just going to continue to go add these on, just to put a little pop of a cooler on our page. And I will snip the ends of this one soon as it dries. The other half of the one that's up there I'm going to put down at the bottom here. So it looks like it's, you know, just entering our page. One here on the heart. And again, there's no reason for this other than just adding a little bit more interest to my page. Because I am not a one-dimensional kind of chick, you know? And this one can go over here like that. And I will trim those off right away. So So I added a couple more text elements right there, and I'm going to pop one right underneath this heart. I don't think you can see it, but it's down here, right there, really quick. And then I glued my feather down already, and I used my craft glue from the Dollar Tree, which I've told you is my favorite glue. I don't even use a glue gun anymore. I just love it. So I'm just going to stick that like that. And this is all good and dry. And then I'm going to start applying my words. And I will, where did I put them? Oh, here. I cannot believe how many of these I have. I mean, I've used them about 3 or 4 times in this book, and I still have enough to make, you know, full words and stuff. It's crazy. So I have the word hope. And there's the O, the H. So I'm going to put the word hope kind of right in here. Like there's so much going on my page now. I can put it over the bird, actually. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm going to pop my hope right there. So, and these pretty blue glittery stickers. I was so surprised. I was like, wow, I have them all. H-O-P-E. And there's still tons of stickers, and I've used this, so I'm not exactly sure where they're from, but they were a great purchase, and they're very, very pretty. There's our hope. H-O-P. They look so pretty. So I think what I might do for the rest of it is do the pencil mark like that and write the verse in. So if you haven't ever seen that done before, I'd like to put that under the birdie's wing, but it's so glued down, it's so delicate. Perfect. There, put a little bit of gel under that wing. There. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil and make curvy lines, starting with the hope there. I'm just going to go like that. You may not be able to see them, but I can, because I want to erase them after. And I wonder if I'm going to go over here as well. No, I don't think so. Not till I get down in here. And then I can... Actually, I'm even going to go over the heart, because there's quite a bit of words. There. And then we'll go down here. Not so much on my feather, but near the feather. We'll put one here. And you just carry on wherever you want to put them. And then what you do is you print in those little curvy line situations, and then erase the ones that you don't need anymore, or erase them when you're done. So I'm just doing the ones now you can't see, it's on the camera. Okay, so I'm going to use this bold one, this bold pen. It's the one I went around that with. Okay, so here is the poem that most moves me right now, that I'm most inspired by right now. And it's by Emily Dickinson, and I'm just reading a part of it. And it says, "Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings a tune without the words and never stops at all." So we always have hope no matter what's going on. It's still there. It's still there for us all. Hope is there. Even that situation with the little boy at the door, you know, perhaps that old man will, somebody will talk to him about his fears, or I better be careful erasing this. You know, Obviously, he was afraid. Nobody just shoots at somebody unless they're scared. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe in the heart of everybody is meanness. It's like I said before, I think it's fear. You either have faith or fear. If you're a faith-filled person, a truly faith-filled person, not just somebody that goes to church every Sunday, but a truly faith-filled person, you're not going to be shooting at a child coming to your door, you know? And if you're truly a faith-filled person, you're not going to call the police because 2 young black men are standing in a Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks. Let's go commit a crime. Starbucks sounds like the place to do it. Like, really? Like, it's just like people just need to think sometimes. Like, let's just go hang out at Starbucks so everyone thinks we're criminals. You know? Like, it's just... And like I told my grandson, you know, you live with faith. You can't be living your life in fear. You can't be, because what's the point of it? God gave you a life. He didn't want you to be afraid all the time. So that's what my poem is about, hope. And then for the finishing touches, I'm going to take my wonderful pencil and just go around the edges here and just smudge it. And then I'll just take some water and blend it all in, just to ground it a little. Oops, ground it a bit, because the colors, it's so bright, hey? I love it when you keep adding, and keep adding, and then all of a sudden it looks kind of neat. You're like, boom, got it. Well, I'm sure you're not all standing in your craft rooms going, boom, got it, but you know what I mean. There. Take a little bit of water and blend all that in. Yeah. So I hope you guys like my page, and I'm curious to hear, put your comments down there. Tell me what your prompts are, even if you're not putting your actual pictures or posting them, which I wish you would do, but if you're not able to, tell me what the response is to the prompt. Like, what poem inspires you right now? I'd love to hear it, because I'd love to go and read it and look it up, because I don't know every poem there is to know. So there is my page. I hope you guys like it. I wish you lots of hope and faith and joy, and try to find the best in everyone and everything. And we will see you next week. Bye.